This is the most excited I've been all year because tonight the Flock League draft is going to be dropping. So definitely want to get into our live stream a little bit beforehand. I'm going to be drafting teams on Best Ball Mania and the Flock tournaments on Underdog tonight. However, honestly, I would recommend that you do not draft in Best Ball Mania right now. The reason is there is the perfect and probably the best tournament currently live on Underdog Fantasy. Obviously, the Flock tournaments will drop later tonight, which we're going to get in. But there's the Pomeranian 3. What makes this tournament so exciting here, it's the $3 buy-in, $25,000 for first place, $12,500 for second, all the way down the line. But typically, Underdog makes their money by charging a rake in these drafts. So you'll always see like the rake when you go to enter in a tournament at 8, 9, 10, 11%. However, the Pomeranian drafts, which are only the $3 buy-ins, $200,000 prize pool, Underdog is charging a 0% rake. So if you are balling on a budget, I would 100% you get into the Pomeranian 3, and then obviously the Flock tournaments that we're going to be doing later tonight, which will only be $10. However, I need to make sure that I'm max entering in Best Ball Mania. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be getting in BBM, which is the largest tournament known to man. This is the $25 buy-in, $15 million prize pool, $2 million for first, $1 million for second, all the way down the line. Highest I've ever finished in this tournament is actually 16th place. But let's move this over. We get one of the best picks that you could possibly have. We get pick 12. And I know that we've had everybody asking where the Flock League draft video is. So keep in mind the timeline of this. We did the draft and we finished at 1 a.m. on Saturday night. We get to the Airbnb on Sunday. We have the meetup all day Sunday hanging out with y'all. And then the editors fly back on Monday, and today's Tuesday. So the editors have been grinding every single second that they have, but there were 7 cameras used. There were 7 cameras always rolling in the Flock League draft. There were 4 hours of footage across every single camera. There were 15 microphones. So the editors are having to go through and they're having to put together a video that is bigger than anything we've ever done, and it's not even remotely close. They are going to get it out tonight, they said, but give them a little bit of time. I promise you it's not done. We're not sitting here waiting and going, haha, we're going to make you wait. They have been grinding since the second we finished 1 a.m. on Saturday to this point. So y'all can riot, but it is going to be coming out as soon as possible. And Puka Nacua, Ashton Genty, super easy picks here at the turn now that Matthew Stafford's back at practice. Literally zero hesitation with those 2 selections. Let's get the fan on because your boy is sweating. And yeah, so I'll, of course, let you know where the video is going to be posted. And I mean, I know y'all are excited, but I promise you, I am more excited to see the video. There's literally nothing that I look forward to more during the season than when these videos drop, because obviously I don't edit them. I have no idea what the hell they look like until they're actually posted. I know I'm in them, but I still have no idea what it looks like. So this will be the channel that it's posted on. You can just look up the Flock League on YouTube. We already have one video out. If you haven't seen it, we battled for our fantasy football draft order. And the video will be posted here tonight. And it's, in my opinion, going to be the biggest fantasy football video ever. Hopefully it is. And the number one ask I'll have from you is when you watch the video, send a link to your fantasy football league. I would never ask you to share this channel with your buddies. You can keep this a secret. But they're not going to be getting any advice over there. So send it over to them. I would really, really appreciate it. Okay. Now, let's see. Lad McConkey at 22. Phil says, if I drop my team for review on the site, will you be able to look at it? Right now, the roster reviews, I am backed up with the site just because we've been working so hard with everything related with the Flock League. We're about to start doubling up and doing 2 live streams a day. Not only the live drafts that we're doing every single night on Underdog, but also answering fantasy football questions as well. But obviously, if you wanted to join one of those draft streams with us, I've drafted on Underdog Fantasy every single night in the live streams for 4 years now. I will say this is probably the number one reason why, in my opinion, I had by far and away the best Flock League draft that you'll see later tonight. And it's definitely the most fun. It's not going to replace any of my regular redraft enjoyment like with the Flock League. Like, that's still going to get 100% of my attention during the season. But what these underdog drafts are nice for is, since it's best ball and there's no time commitment at all during the year, you can just get in some extra drafts, get some extra dollars down. And in my opinion, they are a hell of a lot of fun. But if you wanted to draft on Underdog with us, I always leave the link in the description, comment section, live chat where it says draft with us here. And if you use promo code FLOCK, you will get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. And on top of that, you will get all my 2025 fantasy football rankings and draft guide cheat sheets. Now, if you wanted to draft on Underdog, you do need to be in one of these states. However, good news for you is you can see based on the screen that Underdog is available in pretty much every single state. It's available in all the big ones. It's available in like 45 plus. But let's move this back. CE says first pick is selling. I think the first pick in this draft is completely fine, going with Chase Higgins, Trey McBride. In my opinion, T. Higgins is a phenomenal value this year. Wink, 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 wink. Okay, so Amari Hampton off the board at 31. Jackson Smith and Jigba at 32. Colt says, if we wait until 9 p.m. and it's a 12-minute video, I'll start crying. I would imagine, I have no idea. The editors have been too busy to really even talk to me, to be honest. I'm going to guess that the video is probably about an hour. The Flock League draft video last year, let's see how long that was. It was about 30 minutes. I'm imagining this one's going to be much larger. Like, again, there's 4 hours of footage. We are on the clock. We're going to take Mike Evans. Every Tampa Bay Buccaneer wide receiver is injured at this point, and we'll take James Cook as our second RB. Taylor says, just rewatch the Flock draft from last night. I'm hyped. I'm hyped too. I promise you. The second that it drops, I'm going to drop everything that I am doing, and I'm going to be watching that. JB says, are the cheat sheets up to date? So let me show you what's up to date, and let me show you what's not up to date. So like I said, I update the rankings on the site pretty much every single day. So you'll see that I've updated my rankings on the site today. Just sort by Mason Dodd, and how you know that I updated them. The big update that I needed to have is I needed to move up Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. He is now my RB 31. We have him kind of in the same tier as Mixon and Tyrone Tracy. However, the draft cheat sheets, these are like the 50 draft sheets adjusting to your exact league settings. These take way longer for me to edit. There are 50 of them. So these will get edited and updated every Friday. Because for me to update the rankings on the site, it takes me 5 minutes. For me to update the 50 draft sheets, it takes me 8 hours. So, yeah, those will get updated this Friday, and it always says on the first page of the sheet the last date that it was updated. Okay. And Ollie says you should live stream yourself watching the Flock draft video. If the developers, if the editors, not the developers, message me that the draft video is done while we are live streaming here, realistically, what I'll do is we'll premiere the draft video on the Flock League channel, and I will probably end this and go watch the premiere and hang out in the live chat over there. JMO says next year, live stream the Flock draft. No, you wouldn't want it live streamed. It would be very bad. It's one, we possibly could get in trouble live streaming it. Not everybody's the most PG at the actual draft. And two, again, it's 15 microphones, 7 cameras, and 4 hours of footage this year. I cannot even imagine what that would be like live streamed. I can't even imagine it. Seven says you're not feeling a big dog tonight. No, because it's Tuesday, right? So Underdog drops the flock tournaments every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday night. So after this, we'll probably get into some of the flock tournaments tonight. Okay. Let's see. RJ Harvey off the board at pick 54. And I'm excited about this. I am excited. I will say, after updating the rankings with me having Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, I already leaked that. I've leaked some of my late round picks. The expert average on the My Teams page has me as the third best team in the league. So I'm currently sitting there at the 3 slot in the power rankings. Now, of course, if you use my rankings, which I would say are the best rankings to use, but every creator would say that about their own rankings on the site, I am the number 1 team in the league. But again, of course, I'm very biased. Of course, I'm going to be higher on the players that... Ooh, we're going to take Kamara here pretty easily. And then at wide receiver, I think we take Rome Odunze. Let me just think about this. I mean, Ricky Pearsall, I'm going to take Rome. Ricky Pearsall is interesting there for sure. Don't get me wrong, just given the situation. But I think Rome's the better player. Chase says, how much money is involved in the Flock League? If you watch the latest video posted, you'll see. Like the latest video we posted, you'll see the prizes there. And obviously, if y'all ever wanted to get access to any of the rankings or anything over there on the site, we have worked so damn hard to get y'all all the tools, both the My Teams page where you can see power rankings, you can see what your team needs, you can see the best players on the waiver wire, the prospects page where you can just look at any rookie information that you would ever want, the rankings page, the trade calculator, the trade finder, the player comparison, the range of outcomes tool, and all those draft guides that all the creators posted on the site, as well as the 50 draft sheets that I posted as well. It's all on flockfantasy.com, and it's not too late to get the season pass. You're definitely coming up where you're not going to have it available too much longer, but it's only $34. It's by far and away the cheapest offer that we've ever had with the site. It gets you access to literally everything until January 1st. And on top of that, you will be getting free start sit questions and trade questions that I'm going to be answering for you in the live streams that we are doing every single night during the season. So just flockfantasy.com. Use code FLOCK if you want me to be the one answering your questions in the streams. Okay. Ben says, do you have in-house servers or do you outsource? I'm assuming you mean for flockfantasy.com. We run everything through AWS for flockfantasy.com. Jack says, cop the season pass today. Let me know what you think, my friend. Let me know what you think. William says you should live stream you watching the Flock League draft. I want it because I don't want to take views away from that channel. Like maybe we could do something fun where like next offseason I react and I rewatch it live. Maybe we could rewatch last draft live, which is something that we all did. Once everybody from the Flock League flew into Austin this year, the first thing we essentially did was rewatch the draft log from last year. Okay. God, I know. The thing is, I just simply can't. Maybe I need to change the poll in this live stream because I can't answer 1,000 different times when the draft is posting. Okay, we just put up the poll so we don't have to get that question 1,000 times for people rolling in. So Shakir off at 76. Mixed by Chef says, cop the season pass. I've been a fan for years. Thank you so much, my guy. And please let me know what you think of it. Especially, we are actually going to have some really cool updates coming to flockfantasy.com really soon that the developers have been working on. I've already given a little sneak peek of the updated rankings page. It's going to come your way where you actually can see all the players with the tier list that we have. Plus, we're actually going to be able to pull in a bunch of stats to this page as well. That's going to be super cool. So as you look at the rankings, you can pull in whatever stats that you find relevant, and there'll be additional columns here. Okay, Mahomes goes pick 81. Jordan Mason, 82. So Caleb Johnson's been falling like a rock, and we will take Caleb Johnson here. I'm going to take Caleb Johnson, and then we probably need to grab a wide receiver. I personally do like the TJ Hawkinson price tag here, and I like the Baker Mayfield price to pair up with Mike Evans, but simply having 3 wide receivers the first 7 rounds of an underdog draft isn't going to cut it, so we are going to go ahead and we are going to reach on Jaden Higgins. But Phil, always happy to see. I know you've been with us forever, my friend. And Colts has finally got my pass. Glad I could support. Thank you for working. Thank you, my guy. And please let me know how you like it. Let's see. Anil says, our starts it vouchers going to show until the season starts? I don't see the vouchers under the my account. So the thing is, the start set questions are currently hidden by the developers because I didn't think people were going to be wanting to ask start set questions this early on. But I had a meeting with the developers this morning, and I told them, hey, I live streamed yesterday and people are actually asking start set questions. So let's turn the start set questions on the site. Okay. We have TJ Hawkinson going to pick 91 to the team that took Sam Laporta. Nate says, chat, should I buy the pass? I'm tempted. General rule of thumb, and this is just the honest thoughts that I have, if you are going to be invested into your fantasy football league all year, I would say the season pass is 100% going to be worth it. If you're somebody that's like, hey, I'm going to draft my team and then I'm not really going to care during the season, probably not. So like if you're somebody that's like, hey, I care about fantasy football for 2 to 3 weeks of the year. If I start off 0-2, I'm going to essentially abandon my team. Don't buy the season pass. But if you're going to be constantly working the waiver wire and caring about who to start sit, I would say 100% the $34 one-time payment is worth it. Okay, Brian Robinson off the board at 96. So obviously, yeah, B-Rob is one of the biggest fallers in drafts. And we'll see where Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt ends up going. In a couple of drafts yesterday, we actually saw them go essentially in the same round between B-Rob and JCM. Mr. Bean says, I just signed up Underdog using code FLOCK. Do we get something sent to us? Yes. You are going to get the draft sheets sent to the email address that you signed up to Underdog Fantasy with, which would be the same post here on the site. Apple says B-Rob ahead of JCM question mark. I mean, hell, we're seeing it in this draft right here, and JCM may keep sliding at this point. Faye says, are you answering start set questions on the stream tonight? I'm probably not doing a live Q&A tonight. I think we're going to have to start doing that daily at some point here. JCM finally off the board to pick 103. I think that's a very reasonable price. That is lower than where I put him in my rankings on the site today. But obviously, I drafted him in the Flock League, so I may or may not be a little bit biased there. Let's move this over. Cam Scatterbo goes at pick 106. Couple different things that we can do at this point. I don't want to give anything away until we're actually on the clock. Kyler goes, so I'm going to take the combination of Loveland and Caleb Williams. And we're going to get the Caleb, Rome, and Loveland double stack. One thing that is worth talking about is Anthony Richardson is no longer viable in these drafts. Daniel Jones is going to be the starter for what it looks like, presumably all year. I mean, maybe that changes at some point, but they are putting out word that it's not changing anytime soon. And that is, as somebody who has drafted no Daniel Jones in best ball drafts and has drafted a considerable amount of Anthony Richardson, I would love to sit here and tell you like, oh, A-Rich is better for this team, blah, blah, blah. No, I think maybe he is, given the rushing. But in terms of if you're drafting Tyler Warren, Josh Downs, or Michael Pittman Jr., which y'all know how much Tyler Warren I've drafted early in the offseason. He was my most drafted player. I think that it's relatively good for all the Indianapolis Colts guys. Mudded says, I'm new to Underdog, so trying to understand the reasoning, but why is there a reason you never dropped a top-tier quarterback or tight in the early rounds? I mean, I know I didn't in the live stream yesterday, and I know I haven't in the live stream today, but generally, I will take a lot of Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson round 3. I'll take a decent amount of Trey McBride round 3. I'll take a decent amount of Brock Bowers round 2. But just know if you draft the elite quarterback like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, you're only going to take one more quarterback in the entire draft. And same thing, if you draft the elite tight end with either Brock Bowers or Trey McBride, you're only going to take one more through the entire draft. Okay. We have Brandon Ayuk going 120, Christian Kirk 121. And maybe let me see my rankings on the site and see if I need to move up the Colts guys, because realistically, the only thing that I've cared to update today has been JCM once the devs told me that they got him in. But let's look at where we have Daniel Jones versus Anthony Richardson. Is this redraft or dynasty? Okay, I thought I had Anthony Richardson higher than this. This is really surprising. Apparently, I already had Daniel Jones ahead of A-Rich. But at this point, I'd rather have Daniel Jones over Rodgers, Darnold, maybe Geno. I think he's like right alongside Stafford. So we're going to move Daniel Jones up a few slots. And then when we go over to running back in terms of Jonathan Taylor versus Chase Brown, Bucky Irving, I'd still rather have the other two RBs. Going over to wide receiver, we have Josh Downs. And I mean, I guess I could show this to y'all. Obviously, this isn't the rankings page that y'all see on the site, but this is the... Oh, and we need to move Igbuka up as well. So the thing with Igbuka is now you have Jalen McMillan looking like he is not going to be a factor. I would rather have Igbuka over Olave. I'm going to put Igbuka wide receiver 34, and which is going to boost Corey's team, which kills me. So Justin Herbert, we don't have a stack for. Ramadre, if we take him, we're done at running back. There are no wide receivers unless we wanted to take Justin Herbert and Trey Harris. So we're going to take Ramondre Stevenson, and then we're going to call it a day at running back. We're going to look only at QB, tight end, and receiver. And then in terms of what we're doing with this next pick, I just frankly have no idea. I think we'll take just the unstacked Justin Herbert. I don't know what we should have done, though. But let's go back to me updating the rankings. So again, we moved Igbuka up to wide receiver 34 with the Jalen McMillan injury. And there was actually an Igbuka trade in the Flock League today. I don't want to say too much about it. And what else do we need to update with this? I'm honestly wanting to move Mike Evans up. Like at this point, I probably prefer Mike Evans over Devontae Adams. Like Godwin had to have the second surgery. Now you have Jalen McMillan injured. It's really just going to be Mike Evans and Igbuka at this point to start the season. Like Mike Evans is going to be a top 10 wide receiver in my rankings week 1. Like why the hell would I not prefer Mike Evans over like Tyreek at this point? Can y'all spam the chat for a redraft league? Would you rather have Mike Evans or would you rather have Garrett Wilson? Or let's go Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill. Who would you rather have, Mike Evans or Tyreek Hill? Let's see. Evans, Tyreek, Evans, Tyreek, Evans, Tyreek. I mean, it looks like that's right around where he belongs. So I'm going to be moving Mike Evans into that tier C. I'm going to put him wide receiver 15 right in between Tyreek Hill and Garrett Wilson. And then are there any other adjustments that I need to be making? I guess we can bump up Kate Otten a little bit, which realistically you're only ever really looking at him if you're in a best ball draft. Like there's no way you'd ever draft him in your regular redraft league. But I'd rather have Kate Otten over like Isaiah Likely. More targets should go over to the tight end position. I'm actually going to move Kate Otten a little bit higher. I'd rather him over Ertz too. And then let me look at the overall rankings. Because I think I'm going to have to move Tyler Warren up based on what I saw earlier. Because in general, Tyler Warren looks like he is going to crush with Daniel Jones given the preseason usage. I'd rather have him over Tracy. I'm moving him up to 87. Some of those moves is actually going to hurt my team in the My Teams page on the site. So if you don't know, like the My Teams page on the site, this is powered by all the expert rankings. Like all the rest of season rankings. Okay, Dallas Goedert goes 152. Let's move this over. Y'all took the big Q for me, so it looks like I'm not going to get him stacked up with Herbert. Not going to cry about it. The expectations kind of were that we were taking him unstacked. We're going to go Cam Ward. There's stacking options with Ward that we can get very late. We are not taking we'll just go with Romeo Doubs. Who cares? We need another receiver. We're not taking a running back at this point. And we're not taking a quarterback at this point either. We have 3 QBs. We're only taking wide receiver and tight end through the rest of this draft. But yeah, Tyler Warren has to move up. Y'all see in the draft when it drops later tonight that Tyler Warren went pretty early in our draft. Turn Theory says, why is Caleb going so high in the expert average? The reason Caleb is so high in the expert average is the domain guys. So don't be talking to me about this. But Nathan has Caleb at RB22, 59 overall. Avery has Caleb RB22, 62 overall. So I believe I'm lower on Caleb. Because I know I have Swift over him. I think I have Pacheco. Yeah, I have Caleb RB26. So I'm much lower on Caleb. You're talking to the wrong guy there. Jim arranged the draft videos should be dropping, I don't know. The editor said tonight-ish. So your guess on what that means is as good as mine. I promise y'all, I want the draft to drop even more than y'all do. The first thing that I'm going to do, the second they text me that the draft drops, like it's live, I'm ending this live stream. And I'm going to premiere that video so I can go watch it. But sadly, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the Dynasty reviews tonight. I'm still catching up on everything. I thought I was going to be able to get to them. But yeah, I promise y'all, I want to watch the video even more than y'all do. Okay. So Rashad White goes 169. I am interested to see how many people make the premiere. I am so damn excited. I know y'all are tired of hearing me talk about it, but it's genuinely because y'all know, I mean, fantasy football is my favorite thing in the world. There's a reason I started a YouTube channel, made multiple videos every single day for years and years and years, never thinking it could be a job. Just because I love talking about it. I love fantasy football more than anything. But, it has made me love fantasy. I would say the most I ever loved fantasy when I was in college, probably, from 2017 through 2021. But now that we've been doing the Flock League, I think I like it even more than I did back then. Back then, it was mainly I was so obsessed with Dynasty. I love Dynasty more than anything else in the world. And obviously, this is a little bit different, but And this makes me like redraft, honestly, more than Dynasty, just because there's nothing I look forward to more than this. Okay, we're going to take Chig and we're going to take the Big Q. We're going to get Chig paired up with Cam Ward, and we're going to get the Big Q paired up with Justin Herbert. Dante's review says, is Daniel Jones good or bad for JT? It's good for JT. I'm not going to move JT ahead of like Bucky Irving or Chase Brown now, but it's good for him for sure. Okay, Brian says, who won the draft? No bias. Again, everybody has their own personal values, right? So I'll show y'all. The expert average has it this way on the site. But if you go through and you sort by each creator's rankings, you put in my rankings, it has me number 1. You put in Corey's rankings, it has him number 1. You put in Danny's rankings, it has him number 1. You put in Avery's rankings, it has him number 1. You put in Nathan's rankings, it has him number 1. The only person that wouldn't have themselves number 1 in the rankings would be Zach, who has himself at 7. Which, I mean, is kind of how it should be, right? The majority of people right after their fantasy football drafts should think like, oh, I like my team the best because I drafted my players. Okay. Jalen Coker at 188. Coker has been somebody I've been trying to mix in a little bit more just because we faded him so hard early in the offseason. And we've instead drafted a lot of Xavier Legette, and we're trying to balance that out at this point. Okay, Harold Fannin off. Yeah, Phil says everyone, of course, is going to think they have the best team. So, which, again, I think that's kind of how it should be. I mean, there's always going to be one person that's like, yeah, I don't love my draft. I don't think I have the best team. But most people are going to go, oh, no, I had the best team. So I'll show you what the expert average has as the best drafts. The expert average has Avery number 1, Bush number 2, me number 3. But also there have been trades done since the drafts. So, teams y'all see that drop tonight are actually a little bit different than the teams there are now. Okay, K. Dotton goes 199. That team at 1 actually did drop the ball. They only have 1 quarterback, 1 tight end through the first 17 rounds. So that team at 1 is a donation. Connor says, I just bought the pass and I don't see my vouchers. Can you send a message in the site issues section of the Discord? That way the developers can go ahead and take a look and see if there's an issue for you. The trades will not be in the draft video. The trades will be in a video that comes out after. There are actually 2 trades that happen while we are at the meetup. We're going to take Adam Thielen here relatively easily as our wide receiver 7. And then our last tight end that we're going to grab, we'll take Elijah Arroyo. So overall, I like the team. Quarterback, we have Caleb stacked with Rome and Loveland. We have Herbert stacked with the Big Q. We have Cam Ward stacked with Chig. Running back, we have Ginty, James Cook, Kamara, Caleb Johnson, Ramondre Stevenson. Wide receiver, Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, Roma Dunze, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, the Big Q, Adam Thielen. And then tight end, we have Loveland, Chig, and Elijah Arroyo. But let's move this over. And it looks like the flock tournaments aren't going to drop on Underdog for another 8 minutes or so. So let's hop in another Best Ball Mania draft. And it looks like I'm actually going to have to enter in on my phone. And then it will... and then I'll pull it up on the computer. But again, I'm sorry. Safari, for whatever reason, blocks my location sometimes. But Best Ball Mania, we are in now. And I have 31 drafts left in BBM. And there aren't too many days until The season's here. So I need to be getting in as many of these as I possibly can. And we get arguably the worst pick on the board. We get pick 7. Phil says the pass is amazing, by the way, Mason. Thank you, my friend. Okay, I don't want to say this because I'm going to jinx myself for sure. But obviously, y'all know I read all y'all's messages. I read the comment section on pretty much every video. And y'all have been so much nicer to me this year than in years past. And I've been telling my girlfriend this, and I was telling the editor this. So I have no idea what the hell I'm doing differently. But for whatever reason, y'all are actually being nice to me this year. Or I felt like last year I was just getting attacked. But my theory is a lot of people really like the season pass, and they really like that we were able to get it out for them at $34. But I'm not saying that as in, please be meaner to me. But it does seem like y'all been nicer this year, which I appreciate. It's definitely made me more excited for the season as well. Dexter says, is the Flock League half PPR? 1 quarterback, 2 wide receiver, 1 running back, 1 tight end. Flock League is full PPR, 1 quarterback, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end, double flex. Andrew says, the tools that you have been releasing have been game changing. We've been trying my hardest. Danny says, honestly, I would charge a lot more. So I think I told you all this, but we took a pretty big risk with pricing because it's by far and away the cheapest thing that you can find. And in my opinion, I think it's the best for redraft leagues. For your underdog drafts, I'm sorry, it's not the best. Hopefully I can make it the best by next year. But we took a big risk. It's like if we make it a third of the price of what it usually is, we'll triple the amount of people buy it. Because that's kind of how the math works, right? And way more than triple if y'all bought it last year. So it was definitely the right call for us to lower the price. Now the question is, can I handle all the free trade question and start set question vouchers that we gave out? How much am I going to have to be live streaming during the season to answer all these questions? That's the concern. And that's one other thing too. I think y'all, at least some of y'all, know that I used to upload Dynasty videos every single day during the off season. Because that's how I got started on YouTube, is Dynasty. Like, that's my number one thing that I absolutely loved from the jump. And that's why I started a YouTube channel. But what I found was that early in the offseason, it was a lot better for me to spend time like working with the developers on the site, working with the graphics people, working with the editors to get everything ready for the year. So, like, I'm sorry if y'all watched the Dynasty videos and y'all are maybe a little annoyed that I didn't record and upload nearly as many videos this year as I did last year in the off season. But it's because we've been working so hard to make sure that everything for the Flock League, everything with the website, and everything for this channel's 100% good to go. Okay, now AJ Brown goes pick 16. Brock Bowers goes 17. I'll take Achane. Achane's not practicing this week, so we get the fall to 18. Now, when we go running back out the gate here, we're definitely going to have to play catch up at wide receiver in the middle rounds. The Pats are back. Says, hey, Mason, it's Spacula. You're the best. Hope you've been killing drafts. I mean, where have you been, my friend? What the hell? Speaking of people going into hibernation, I have not seen you in forever. Okay. But Eddie says, what's the Flock League buy-in? The Flock League buy-in is you got to fly in from all over the country. One thing that was really funny, I said this in the FSE live stream earlier today. But so we have obviously like a league chat. Let me see if I can show you all this league chat or if it's going to be a little too not nice. So like we have a league chat where we are sending we used to upload the clips for the Flock League on a Google Drive, but now we're sending them to each other in this. And Zach sent like a video of him getting off the plane today. And I went, what the hell? Because obviously the land guys are from Australia. They flew from Australia to Austin to get in the league. And I was like, you left my house yesterday? So long ago. Like, it couldn't comprehend in my head that I've done like so much from the time that he left to go back to Australia to the time that he actually landed in Australia. It was like, what? Like, thank you for coming. Dear God. I cannot imagine of being on a flight for like everything that I've done over the past 24 hours. Now, Lamar Jackson off the board at pick 30. I'm going to take Mike Evans. I mean, we just moved Mike Evans ahead of Garrett Wilson to Devontae Adams in our rankings. Let's run with it. Godwin injured. McMillan injured. Let's get some more Evans. And then obviously there is a massive prize in the Flock League as well, which I don't want to give away that secret. If you watch the most recent Flock League video, you should know what it is. Okay. TK says, I had such a large share of McMillan. Shake my head. Loved where his value was at. Well, it looks like McMillan may just not be a factor this year at this point. Because by the time, if he's good to go, like by the time Godwin's ramping up, then it's like you kind of only you were drafting him for the time period in which Godwin was going to miss. But if he's also missing that time where Godwin's going to miss, I mean, what's the point? Okay, Jaden Daniels goes pick 37. Jameson 39. Jameson moving up a considerable amount. I mean, we reached on Evans. I'm not going to clown on somebody for reaching on Jameson. And we are still trying to play catch up at wide receiver. So we're going to take Devontae Adams here at 42. Again, the Rams guys still seem like they're sliding, even though Stafford is back at practice. Y'all know I was actively fading Devontae Adams in the middle of the third round earlier in the offseason. We are getting clowned for it. But here in the middle of the fourth, when we start running back at the gate, it does seem okay. Okay. George Pickens off at 43. Henderson goes in the fourth here. You have Jalen Hurts at pick 46 from Vinny. So I'm assuming we know he's going to look at a pick 51. God, I really want the new rankings page to hit the site already. Looks like the dev that's responsible for the rankings page has pushed out some bug improvements though. Because the thing is, like, when you first release like a big new feature on the site, there are always going to be 1,000 little things that go wrong. And they just have to work through those. So it looks like he's already kind of done here. Okay. So Calvin Ridley off the board here at 54. Do we want Rice at 55? It seems like a much better price point than where he was previously going. Let's take Rice at 55. I know the big concern at this point is, do you see Rice missing some time in the fantasy football playoffs? Which here in an Underdog best ball drafts, that's kind of just the only thing that matters. So if Rice were to miss time in weeks 15, 16, 17, then this is the worst pick that you could possibly make on the board. But cheapest I've really seen him. And again, we are chasing the highest ceiling possible. What if you just have a 4-game suspension for Rice, which I know is not the most likely outcome. But if that were to occur, he could crush here at 55. MLB Pitcher says, what's the turnaround on super messages on Flock Fantasy? Just sent one in. If you send one in and you're hanging out in this live stream right now, if you let me know what it is, I can answer it for you immediately. Let me know what your name is on the site. I'll be happy to take a look at it for you, my friend. Zay Flowers goes 60. So, the Flowers fall's been pretty big. Evan wants to see a spicy pick. We took Mike Evans there at 31. Mike Evans typically goes at the beginning of the 4th. Philip says, when using the draft sheets, should I draft by the power rankings column or the my rankings column? I have it sorted as the power rankings column. So what I do is I take my rankings for your exact league settings and I average it out with the ADP of the platform that you're drafting on. That way you can hopefully just have the best team from a values perspective as well. So I would draft based off the power rankings. We're not going to take Joe Burrow here. I think we're going to go Rome Odunze over Ricky Pearsall. MLB Pitcher says it's the same name. Okay, let me pull this up. Okay, I appreciate you, my guy. MLB Pitcher says, PPR 10-team league, 3 wide receiver, HN and Kittle are keepers, 3rd overall pick, 100% Chase Lamb going, picks 1 and 2. Should I trade up to get Lamb at 2 or take Jefferson, an elite running back, at my pick? Can you let me know in the live chat right now, what is the running back pool looking like? Are you able to go Bijan? Are you able to go Gibbs? Are you able to go with a Barkley? Do you have access to one of those top 3 RBs? Connor says, should we make a copy of the draft sheet so we can edit the players as our draft goes off? 100% yes. Take the sheet that applies to your exact league settings, your exact platform, copy and paste it, put it on your own sheet, and then as players get drafted, delete them off. That's what I did. But I actually printed it out and I just crossed it off with a marker. Okay, let me pull up Discord real quick. We are on the clock again. Caleb Johnson here goes at 77. We got him at 84 in the last draft. I'll take Juwan Jennings. Again, we go running back here in a best ball tournament. We are just looking to try to play catch up at wide receiver through the rest of it. Okay, let me see if I can find MLB Pitcher. It says, no Ladd, Collins, Puka, Neighbors. It's a normal pull for all of the first round. Then no, I would not trade up from 3 to 2. If you're telling me you have a normal pool and you're able to go Bijan Robinson there at the 103 and a 10-team league, I would 100% just go Bijan Robinson. Now I understand you have to start 3 wide receivers, and at the same time, I understand that you are keeping Achane and Kittle already. But starting off a draft with Bijan, Achane, and Kittle is just beautiful. And in a 10-team league, wide receiver depth should be easy to come by in the middle rounds. So I would 100%, my friend, go ahead and just take the elite running back there. And then obviously, once we take the elite running back like Bijan Robinson at the 103, if that's your guy, take Gibbs, take Barkley, whoever you want. Bijan would be my preference between the 3. Then what I would do most likely is I would look to play catch up at wide receiver. Very similar to what I did with this McCaffrey and Achane team, where it shouldn't be that hard for you to play catch up at wide receiver through the middle rounds. in a 10-team league at least. If it was a 12-team start 3 wide receiver format, I'd be a little bit more concerned. But 10-team league, you should be fine. Jaden Higgins goes 89. We can afford the TJ Hawkinson pick. Baker Mayfield could have for sure been in play. Baker Mayfield is probably going to go. Actually, never mind. I was going to say Baker's probably going to go to the Egbuka team, but the Egbuka team took Josh Allen. So there's a shot that we do get Baker on the way back. Where is the Godwin team? Has Godwin not been drafted? There's no way Godwin's not off the board, is he? Godwin's still available. So never mind. Maybe we see a team here at the turn take Godwin and Baker. Okay. KSM Lift says, are the underdog sheets worth getting them in a 1 snake and 2 auction drafts? So if you want to have a solid set of rankings for $10, I would say yes. If you're talking about the underdog deal. Oh, gross. There are these bugs in my house that are like half grasshopper, half like spiky things. I mean, not even grasshopper. They're like half fly, half grasshopper. And they're pure black and they're disgusting. Gross. I just saw that thing crawling up the wall. Okay, Brian Robinson goes 102. We will take Brock Purdy, and we're going to get him double stacked with CMC and Jawan Jennings. I don't know if there's stink bugs. I mean, I've killed like 20 of them over the past year, and I've never smelt. They've never smelt bad. Okay, Vinny says like a cricket. No, it's not a cricket. It looks like a cricket from hell. Yeah, it's like a cricket from hell. That's how I describe it. And thinking about it, the draft sheets have been updated since August 8th. They were last updated Friday, so like the 16th. So you're most likely just looking at the latest sheets. Make sure if you got the season pass, make sure you go back to the draft guide section on flockfantasy.com. Go and just click the same thing that you clicked the first time, and you should be able to load in the new ones. If you got them through signing up on Underdog, then just go and look at that email address and look at your spam again. But they were updated on Friday. Okay, let's see. Ayuk 109, Drake May 110. Vinny says the Flock Community Contest 9's live. Okay, so Underdog just dropped the 9th Flock tournament, and we will get into that right after this. But first, do we want ETN or do we want Caleb? We're going to take ETN. Pretty strong value to get ETN at pick 114. Caleb would be in play for us, certainty, when we have Roma Dunze. But realistically, we took Brock Purdy at pick 103, so we're not stressing when it comes to quarterback. Somebody says camel crickets. Maybe that is it. Let me see. Imagine a cricket, but it's all black, and it's spiky, and it flies. All black cricket that flies. Images. No. All black. What other bug kind of looks like a cricket? Bug. Spiky bug that flies in my house in Austin, Texas. People are, oh, this is it. This is it. Have you all seen these things? These things get in my house. Ah, they are gross. Yeah, this is definitely it right here. Yeah, I've never seen that before other than inside my house. We are on the clock. JCM goes right before us. Do we want Judkins, McCarthy? We're going to take McCarthy, pair him up with Hawk. Judkins would have been a fine pick as well, but since we go with ETN instead of Caleb in the last round, I think we go quarterback here. Samartha says, Ensign Roach. That's a Smoky Brown Roach. Is that what it's called? Smoky Brown Roach. No, that's a typical cockroach, and trust me, I see those in my house too. Braden says cricket spider mutant. Used to do HVAC and saw hundreds all the time. It's literally what it is. It's like a cricket spider mutant. It's like all black, spiky. And Jen says, I believe those will lay eggs under your skin. So when I was like 12, I would watch Animal Planet. And they would show the commercials of Monsters Inside Me. And I don't know if y'all remember this, but this was a show where they would just talk about like parasites being in people. And I would never actually watch it. But the trailer would come on. And as a 12-year-old, there was nothing that scared me more than that. It was terrifying. And, who do we go with? Ray Davis, Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert. If we take a tight end here, I think we can be done drafting tight end. We're going to go Dallas Goedert. But I would, like, get down on my knees on the side of my bed every night and pray to, I had a little, like, kids Bible that was, like, Bible stories that were, like, dumbed down for kids. I would read it for like 10 minutes and then pray to God that there were no parasites in me. It was the scariest thing ever. Like, I have no idea how they were allowed to show those commercials. Huh. The passerback says, it's called an ensign wasp. They are legit midget wasp. It's crazy. Never heard of them. Glad they're not in my house. Let me see. Okay, they've never stung or bit me. And I've killed a bunch. Yeah, that's it. This little thing. Let me see if they can bite me. Will ensign sting. Adult ensign wasp are normally outdoors. They are attracted to flowers and honeydew and live 2 to 3 weeks. They do not bite or sting or feed on humans, but they sometimes wander indoors. If so, just show this small but beneficial insect back to outdoors. Okay, I may be a horrible person, but I'm sorry. I'm not escorting you back outside. Do you make it into my domain? That's the last thing you'll ever do. So for all the ensign wasp out there, this is a fair warning. Don't step on my turf. Okay, I think we can go back to wide receiver if we want. I think Hollywood's fine. We don't have any Falcons, and we're not stressing about quarterback at this point. So we'll take Hollywood. Okay. And then what can we do? So quarterback-wise, we have Hollywood and Rice. Mahomes isn't available anymore. We have Evans. Baker's long gone. We have Adams. We could still get Stafford. We have Goddard and Hawkinson. We've already stacked Hawkinson with with McCarthy. And we have Dallas Goedert with Hurts, and Hurts is long gone. So what we can do quarterback-wise at this point is we could go with Cam Ward and get a Tennessee Titan option late. We could go with Tua, pair him up with Achane, or we could go with Stafford and pair him up with Adams. Mark says, Mason, I saw you drafted Achan. Heard a missing time. Blah, blah, blah. Let me pull this up real quick. So if we're looking at my rankings, I did move Achan down below Ashton Ginty in the live stream last night. And a few of the wide receivers, I moved Achan down to pick 13. But I'm not panicking with Achan. Nick Chubb goes 158. The question is, if Michael Penix falls 21 picks past ADP, do we just take him and say, F it, we'll get the advancement and not worry about the stacks? Which I don't know the right answer, but it's a valid question. Okay, Cam Ward and Gino both go. So what would we value more? Tua paired up with Achan or Michael Penix by himself? We're going to take the ADP value on Michael Penix by himself, and we can grab a bum Atlanta Falcons wide receiver in round 18 if we really want. Okay. So now running back, we have McCaffrey, Achan, ETN. Wide receiver, Evans, Adams, Rice, Rome, Jawan Jennings, Hollywood Brown. Quarterback, Purdy, double stacked with McCaffrey and Jennings. McCarthy stacked with TJ Hawkinson. Penix unstacked. And then at tight end, we have TJ Hawkinson and Dallas Goedert. Okay, God, hopefully Thomas gets back to me soon when this video is going to be out, because I may or may not be telling the lady, hey, we got to stay up a bit tonight. I got a lot of work I need to do. Got Alex's type 1 if you want to riot for the Flock League. Y'all can riot in the streets. I'm sorry, but I'm doing everything I can here. By everything I can, that's me texting the editors. Hey, do we have an update? Do we have an ETA? Okay, Darnold goes 173. We are on the clock. Do we just take Jalen Wright? So Ollie Gordon's looked a lot better than Jalen Wright, but Jalen Wright's been playing over him. So we'll take Jalen Wright, pair him up with Achan, and we'll hope that Ollie Gordon isn't a thing. Hope Ollie Gordon is a 0, but who knows? Sammy says, can't wait for y'all to see the powerhouse I built. Where are you at in the My Teams page, Sammy? Sammy in at 8. So, at least better than the land guys, Sal and Nick. Poor Sal. We'll be interested to know what y'all think of Sal's draft if y'all think the My Teams page is wrong. Sammy says bias rankings. So, hey, let's get your rankings on the site, Sammy. Let me know in the live chat. Would y'all want the fans' rankings on the site? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Max says, when's the next Flock draft going to be up on Underdog? It is up right now, and that's going to be the next draft that we do. We got no, yes, yes. No, no, yes, yes. No, yes, no. Sammy, you haven't won him over yet. You got to prove yourself. The fan has to prove himself. Yes, but separate. Put him in the corner. Now, Alec Pierce, Pat Bryant both go. So again, I think we are good with only 2 tight ends, having Hawkinson and Goddard. I actually looked, and Goddard has been a tight end 1 every single year of his NFL career. If you're looking up points per game. We're not taking McMillan. I like Michael Wilson. Nobody else does. I'm going to take Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson's slowly turning into my most drafted player. Can somebody let me know, is there a different wide receiver 2 in Arizona this year? Like, please let me know if I'm missing something. Are beat reporters telling us that God knows who is playing over Michael Wilson? Sar says, not me refreshing YouTube nonstop to see if the draft video is up. Y'all fumbling this by not having a premiere time. My friend, you may or may not have ever uploaded a YouTube video, but to have a premiere time for a YouTube video, the YouTube video has to be done and uploaded. How the hell am I going to set up a premiere for a video that's not done? If the video was done, it would just be up. It would just be uploaded. It looks like people are saying it's still Michael Wilson. And Michael Wilson's still the wide receiver 2 in Arizona. He is the best pick in underdog drafts at the moment. Now, I don't think he's any good. Like in your regular redraft league, there's no way in hell I'd ever take the dude. But you don't have to be good to make an impact for best ball. At the wide receiver position especially. Okay. Ty Johnson off. Horton goes 198. I don't know if I've taken Horton once. We are just wide receiver and running back, right? I don't know if I want to go Roshan. I'm not taking Ollie Gordon if we have the other 2 backs. I don't know if I want to go Kyle Manungai. Do you take Miles Sanders? Honestly, F it. Y'all know who I actually want. Well, never mind. We took Miles Sanders. It doesn't matter who I actually want. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the video behind the season pass. We're going to upload the video on the site first, and then we'll get it out there. Obviously, that's a joke. Would be funny, though. The Pats are back. Says, how's Nathan's team looking this year? I'm Team Nathan. I fear he does not take the fantasy god serious enough, though. So here's the thing with Nathan. He is, you'll see tonight, he is blessed at the beginning of the draft. Just like he was last year. Absolutely blessed. Everybody tried to just give him the win. Everybody felt bad for Nathan. They went, here's the win, buddy. And what he did to fumble his draft in the middle rounds, I will not let him forget. I will not let him forget. Neffy says, so it's dropping tonight for sure. Yes, we'll see. Let me pull up my text for y'all. I'll give you all the information I have. Who's the Atlanta wide receiver? We'll take Roman Wilson in case we can't find. Who am I looking for? Atlanta. Ray McLeod. Where did Ray McLeod go? He went at 202. Maybe we should have just taken him instead of Miles Sanders. We'll get Roman Wilson, wide receiver 8. Okay. And then let's go ahead and let's hop into a flock tournament. So let me refresh this. So Underdog is not getting my location. Safari's blocking it right now. So I have to enter it on my phone. But in case you haven't seen the setup of the flock tournaments, they're the $10 buy-ins, 3 entry max. You can only draft 3 teams. And it's 10K to first, 5K to second, all the way down the line. How you get there to the final is you have to be number 1 in your 12-team draft for weeks 1 through 14 in total fantasy points scored. And then you have to be, you have to beat somebody in week 15. Then you have to beat somebody in week 16. And then in week 17, you have a 100-person final. And if you are the highest scoring team, you win $10,000. But I just entered it on my phone, and let's pull this around. Okay, we are in this draft. Mr. Bean says, do draft sheets from Underdog get sent out only on Fridays? Yes. If you message me saying like, hey, my draft is on Wednesday, I can go ahead and make sure we get them sent out a little early for you. But I just kind of assume that everybody drafts on the weekend and then obviously on Monday, Memorial Day. So I make sure that we get everything updated on Friday and we send them out on Friday. Okay. And we get pick 8. So similar to the last draft, pick 7 sucks. So does pick 8. Barry says, go to Stream East. See all the videos on there. It's funny. Kale made it in this draft with us. So did Vinny. So Vinny and Kale for sure have by far and away the most entries into drafts with us. And it's not even remotely close either. I can't even imagine who the third place team would be with the most drafts done with us. Okay. Bijan Robinson goes at 3. Barkley at 2. Definitely I've seen Barkley sliding as of late. Like it seems like more people have Jahmyr Gibbs RB1 now than they do Barkley. Okay, we are on the clock. And we will take McCaffrey just like we did in the last draft. We've been taking McCaffrey at pick 7 for a long, long time. So McCaffrey at this point is probably my most drafted round 1 player. We had a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs as well early on just because sometimes Gibbs would actually fall outside the top 6 picks when you were drafting early in the offseason. Like early in the offseason, people were worried about Gibbs, and I was getting him at pick 7 a lot too. Will says, could you maybe consider having a 13-year-old in the Flock League next year? Probably no on that one, big fella, but I think it would be funny to have like a 70-year-old in the Flock League next year. Having someone really old. Brian Thomas Neighbors makes it down to 15. Again, there's that top tier of 15 players. Then after that, it's very flat. We'll take A.J. Brown. I mean, I've said this 1,000 times, but I won 100,000 in a tournament by drafting CMC and A.J. Brown on the same squad. Spog, giving us a solid $299 that he can sue us for later. Oh, y'all know what I did today. I forgot to tell y'all. I'm going to be a star. I recorded some Underdog Instagram commercials and TikTok commercials. So I don't mean to flex on y'all or anything, but I'm about to be famous. So if you're scrolling on Instagram, if you're scrolling on TikTok, maybe if you're scrolling on YouTube Shorts, you may see the boy. So all I ask is, please don't flame me in the comments. Please drop something nice about me. Because I've seen other times people have recorded commercials like this and they get absolutely lit up in the comments. In a negative way. So please come through for your boy. Because I know they coming for me. They coming for me. Okay. Bucky goes 24. And ooh, okay. Another thing is half I already showed y'all our group chat. I'm not going to show y'all all the messages, but I already showed y'all the Flock League comments. But half of our messages is just us sending each other comments. Like, that's half of it. So everybody reads all the comments. So I know I asked y'all this last year, but make sure y'all do it again this year. Just make sure you are Mason's #1 cheerleaders in that comment section, because nothing makes them more jealous. Y'all saw Avery, aka Angel Reese, in the auditions video. And Team of Destiny's on a warpath this year. Easiest way to get under their skin is by having y'all cook them in the comments. We're going to take Kyron Williams here in the third. The last draft, we took Mike Evans over Kyron Williams, but also in the last draft, we started with McCaffrey and Achane rather than McCaffrey and A.J. Brown. So I think we have the flexibility to take Kyron at this point. Okay. Jacob says you've beaten all those bums. We'll let those bums know it in the comment section when the draft video comes out. Just spam the comments. Mason had the best draft. Mason cooked y'all. Oh, y'all have no idea how upset it will make them. But Garrett Wilson goes 36. George Kittle off 37. James Cook goes 39. Feel good about James Cook going there, because if he would have made it to me at 41, I would have felt bad about our selection. So now we get the ability to take a wide receiver here at 41. My preference would be Worthy over Tet, and actually it looks like that's what his preference was as well. So we're going to get Tet McMillan at 41, which I feel like we haven't drafted much Tet this year. Let me see how much Tet that I've drafted. How much Tet McMillan have I taken? Mm-hmm. 6.3%. So I am slightly underweight Tet McMillan. And who am I overweight here in round 4? Probably Worthy, right? Yeah, I'm up at 13.4% Worthy. So I've over double the amount of teams I've drafted with Worthy as opposed to Tet McMillan. DK Metcalf, I'm at 10.1%. Pickens, 5.4%. DJ Moore, 8.2%. Ridley, 7.1%. Flowers, 7.6%. Who else goes here? James Cook, y'all know he was inside the bottom 5 of my least drafted players early in the offseason, but we bought the dip pretty heavily whenever he was having the contract issues. So we've managed to get up to 8.4% James Cook and balance out our exposures. I'm only at 3.5% Jaden Daniels, so it looks like I don't have much Daniels at all. I have 11.2% Lamar. I'm sorry, Allen, 6.8% Lamar. So definitely out of the elite quarterbacks, the one that I've drafted the least is Jaden Daniels. I've probably barely taken Burrow as well. I'm not going to take Rice here in the flock tournaments because you have to be the highest scoring team in this draft to advance to the tournaments. So him missing games is more hurtful here than it would be Best Ball Mania. Let's see. I bet I've taken no Burrow. I'm at 6.8% Burrow, so I'm underweight Burrow as well. Hood Beaver says, what's your bill exposure? Super low on Underdog, but it's high in the only place that it really matters, which is the Flock League. Flock League, I'm at 100% JCM. Okay. Egbuka goes 61. Pacheco 64. We need a wide receiver here no matter what. We're going to take Rice and just go, what if he doesn't get suspended? What if they can push it? Again, that's highly unlikely. The most likely scenario is he gets hit with a large suspension. What if they can push it somehow, some way? Maybe we turn $10 into $10,000. Buddy says, is Jonathan Taylor better with Daniel Jones starting? Yes. Daniel Jones starting helps everybody in Indianapolis. Means the quarterback's going to score less points because the quarterback's not going to have as many rushing yards, rushing touchdowns. Sorry, I'm trying to check to see if this... Yeah, I have no update on the video for y'all. Let me give y'all the latest update I have on the video. Nick, one of the editors, sends to Thomas, do we have an ETA, Thomas? Let me know if you need anything more on my end. Thomas says, tonight-ish, will do. Haven't heard since. So, ET on the video is tonight-ish. Sam Laporta goes 77. Jacoby Myers 78. And we will take Mahomes to pair up with Rice. Jordan Addison, again, I think is a little less interesting in the flock tournaments because you have to score the most points of any team in the league weeks 1 through 14 to make it to the fantasy playoffs. Gruber says, fire them, finish it yourself. Yeah. Imagine me trying to do that in iMovie. It would not go well. It would not go well. Thomas is y'all's only hope. I'll tell you that much. Lucky for y'all, Thomas is an absolute beast. I have been editing the videos on this channel, though. Y'all may or may not have noticed, but the videos on this channel have been a little lower quality over the past few days in terms of the editing. And that's because I'm getting back to my roots, and I've been editing lately. Because we need to make sure that the editors can spend 100% of their time on the Flock League videos at this point. That will change. But okay. Tyron Tracy goes 88. We'll take Jaden Reed. Not going to overthink it. We need a fourth receiver. We only have 3 wide receivers so far. Y'all know I am underweight Jaden Reed. I've been drafting Matthew Golden ahead of him all year. Let me see our exposures in comparison. I have Jaden Reed only 4.4% of my drafts. I have Matthew Golden in 8.7. So I have about double the Matthew Golden shares of Jaden Reed. But these guys used to go back-to-back. Now we are getting Jaden Reed pick 89. Whereas Matthew Golden goes pick 73, so a decent spot for us to balance out our exposures. Okay, Brian says, sounds like you need to hire another editor. So we did hire another editor for just the Flock League stuff, but the draft specifically is such a big deal that we wanted the main guy to do it. Thomas is too much of a beast to have him not doing it. But the videos that you'll see during this season on the Flock League channel will be from the new editor, Nick, who's also in the league, who, in my opinion, had the worst draft of anyone. Okay, Dak Prescott goes 99. Godwin off the board to pick 100 in this draft. I just pulled it up on my phone, and it looks like the Flock League is kind of surging in views right now. And it looks like it's just everybody going to comment, asking where the video is. Brian Robinson at pick 103. Do we go JCM? JCM's a little less interesting in this format. Specifically, what do we do? Do we go Dobbins or do we go Mooney? We're going to go Dobbins here. The reason I would love JCM in like a regular underdog, like Best Ball Mania draft, is he's going to be drafted in so few percentage of drafts that you can get a lot of leverage over the rest of the field. It's very similar to like going back over the past, like 2 years ago, right? What won tournaments on underdog 2 years ago? It was drafting Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams. The reason is they absolutely crushed, and there was a large percentage of drafts that were completed before we knew that they were interesting. So JCM and like in Best Ball Mania draft at this point is incredible because there's been over half the field that's drafted that JCM hasn't gone in half those drafts. But here, this flock tournament on underdog dropped 43 minutes ago. JCM's going to get drafted in every single one of them. So be a little less excited about him here. Okay, Caleb goes 110. Jared Goff goes 111. Mooney off. We'll take Evan Ingram. Pair up our round 9 and round 10 picks around the tight end position. Some people like week 17 bring back that you have with Denver and KC in a tournament like this where there's a 100-person final. It's not the main reason I'm doing this, though. Sir Alexander says, Mason, are you worried at all about the Devonta Smith injury? I'm going to be 100% honest with you, my friend. I didn't even know there was a Devonta Smith injury. Let me pull this up. What the hell am I missing? Okay. Let me try to figure out what's going on with Devonta Smith because you are scaring me. You know I have a ridiculous amount of them. Apparently not practicing today. Eagles. So Devonta Smith not practicing. God, that boy's skinny. Yeah, I can't see anything like, I know he didn't practice today. I don't see anything. Here's like a tweet. With A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith and others missing practice today, it's my understanding the Eagles are being conservative with players this week to help ensure that they are ready for practice next week when the Eagles begin preparations for the season opener. So, based off that, I'm not worried at all. Maybe there's something I'm missing, though. Let's pull this over, looking at the quarterback position. Lawrence Stroud coming up. We don't have the stacking options for either. I'm going to take Keenan here with this tournament style. Just lock us in some points. Ethan says Smith has a groin injury, apparently. I can't find that anywhere. I'm assuming if it was a big deal, it would be everywhere. Brandon Ayuk goes 130. Ray Davis 131. Okay. If we take another running back here, it'll be our last RB. I think you should expect Javonte to slide a bit, just given the possibility that Brian Robinson's going to Dallas. Michael Penix goes, we may take Jake Ferguson here as our second tight end. Let me think. Yeah, I think we're going to do just that. Interesting to see Jake Ferguson this high ahead of Dallas Goedert. I believe I have Goddard ranked ahead of him. I've been taking Goddard a ton in this range. Okay. Garrett says, what are your thoughts on my buddy randomly deciding to run a marathon from 10 a.m. 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. with no practice in a neighborhood. Okay. Coming from somebody who's also first marathon was him just randomly deciding to do it. And just running 26 miles until my watch said that you're done. I would say that your friend sounds like he has serious issues. Because I know I have issues. But at least I did mine from like noon to like 4 p.m. Like kind of a normal person. Just start running at 10 p.m. and to finish running at 4 a.m. Sounds like you have a real problem. Okay, JCM finally, honestly, F me. I should have taken JCM. What the hell am I doing? JCM was very clearly the pick there in either round 11 or round 12. My fault for not taking him. Dylan Sampson off 144. And what I'm going to do after this live stream is I'm going to eat some Den. God dang, the Flock League is exploding with subscribers right now. We're at 28,000 subscribers. If y'all have not already subscribed, let me put you on. And if you hit the bell next to the subscribe button, you will get notified whenever the stuff drops. Am I not subscribed? No, I am subscribed. Never mind. So you might not subscribe from this account. So make sure you sub, and it will hopefully drop while I'm eating dinner. As I'm going to make a video that will probably come out super late tonight. We're going to take Byshell Tootin. No, we're going to take Hollywood Brown. Hopefully Hollywood's healthy. I'm going to make a video super late tonight breaking down my draft strategy and breaking down how exactly my draft went. Because obviously in the draft vlog itself, you're not going to hear a lot about like, oh, this is what I was thinking at this point. Here's how I evaluate these two players. I'm not talking about player evaluation at all. I'm making fun of Sal and I'm making fun of Nathan. Okay, Brenton Strange goes 155. Austin Eckler goes 156. So yeah, I'll record that video tonight, and hypothetically, let's just say hypothetically, if the Flock League video drops at like 10, I'll probably drop mine after. But yeah, I'll drop a video after explaining all my picks. I'm not dropping it beforehand though. We are on the clock again. We don't have a stack with Tua. We don't have a stack with Geno. Realistically, we kind of need some quarterback help here. Given the fact that you have to be the highest scoring team in your 12-team draft, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Tua just to make sure we can lock in some points weeks 1 through 14. And then we're going to hope that in week 17, Mahomes with either Hollywood or Rice is the big blow up and the big stack that we need. Yeah, the Flock League draft video is going to be dropping probably week 3. Just that way you know who's good, who's bad. Okay, Geno Smith 165. Dobbs goes 167. Alan says, were there any funny moments in the Flock draft? They were, in my opinion, hilarious moments. Stafford goes 170. But I think I had some pretty funny moments. Who do we go with? A-Rich is no longer in play, right? So neither is McMillan. We can take one more running back. Isaiah Likely goes. We're going to take Daniel Jones. Yeah, we're just going to take Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones definitely going to be a really strong Best Ball Mania pick. I know this is the Flock tournament on Underdog, not the exact same. But again, for the same reasons we were talking about JCM looking like a really strong Best Ball Mania pick, is because they aren't, there was a good section of the offseason where Daniel Jones was not getting drafted. So he's going to be lower owned in the player pool overall. Jay Solis says A-Rich starting multiple games this season, probably. I'm not saying he won't. Pat Bryant goes 180. Rabona says, I maxed BBM last month and he was my most owned quarterback. So I thought, like, Corey from Fantasy Stock Exchange has Daniel Jones as his most drafted quarterback. And I had thought that he was crazy because my take was like, maybe it's more likely that Daniel Jones is the starter. But if Daniel Jones is the starter, what's his upside versus what's the upside of, say, Anthony Richardson starting? And A-Rich just gives you so much more rushing upside that I think the Colts options are better with Daniel Jones, but quarterback-wise, A-Rich is going to be much better than Daniel Jones for fantasy. We're going to take Jonnu as our third tight end. I thought the upside with Daniel Jones was very limited, to be honest. But, I mean, apparently no ball. Apparently it doesn't matter because if you were getting him in round 18, it's definitely going to be later than where he's going now. So Jalen McMillan goes 187. Good. I don't think I've ever had y'all. Okay, so here's one other. I know I've already asked this at the beginning of the live stream, but based off the a million questions we've had asking when the draft vlog's going to be out, and again, I keep saying that, like, just give the editors a little bit of time. They've been, like, for a video this large, I don't know if there's, like, I didn't think it was possible for them to say it was going to be out today. My guess was going to be it was going to be out on Saturday. So the fact they're getting out at all is crazy. Just give them a little bit of time. And I would appreciate it more than anything in the world. I would never ask you to share this channel because this channel realistically could help your league mates. But the Flock League draft and the Flock League channel in general, it ain't helping your league mates. If anything, they're going to watch what Nathan does and they're going to make their own mistakes. So when that video comes out, please rip a link of it and send it in your fantasy football group chat. I would really appreciate it. Okay, Darius Slayton goes 195. K. Dotton goes 197. So we are only taking a running back and a wide receiver at the end of this draft. Kyle Monangai off. We are going to we'll take Jalen Coker. And then at running back, we're going to queue up some guys. Justice Hill would be my number 1. Kareem Hunt, number 2. DJ Giddens, number 3. Then we go Ollie Good and Taj Brooks. And then probably Damian Pierce. Not throwing like Blake Corum and Sean Tucker, just to make sure that we get a running back. But I'm going to end this. I'm going to go eat. I am then going to record a video recapping everything that I did in the Flock League drafts and how my draft went, my strategy of it and everything. And that video will come out after the video drops on the Flock League channel for the actual draft vlog tonight. Is there anything else to say? Not really. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Obviously, I will say that I owe y'all a massive thank you. I already did this, but I'll do it again because I definitely owe you a massive thank you for allowing us to do so many cool things that we did this past week. Main reason we were able to do it all is 1, Underdog Fantasy. Shout out Underdog Fantasy. And 2, y'all getting the season pass like crazy, which I really appreciate. And y'all absolutely blew away my expectations with it. And we've had a ton of positive feedback. And obviously I love hearing that. But I promise you, I am just as anxious, if not more anxious, to see this draft vlog as y'all are. It's going to be out the second that it's done. I'm not even going to watch it. I'm not even going to review it. I never do. The editors text me, hey, it's done. I hit premiere on YouTube, and usually I either start eating some food, get on the little bike, or whatever I'm going to do, but I watch it with y'all as it premieres. So second it's ready, it'll premiere, and then right after that, there'll be a video on this channel where I'll explain all my reasoning with all my picks. But I really appreciate y'all, and really hope I get to see y'all with the premiere in the draft vlog tonight.